Okay, cool.
All right, welcome back to the Legacy Mediocre League, where we have the next round coming right up. It's Danny Batterskull with his Cube Draft versus Lee J with his Doomsday deck. It's going to be an interesting match, two very different kind of decks. So let's see how it plays out.
All right, so we see a hand here that I don't think Danny can keep.
No, it's a very nice sample hand with no castable cards in it.
And Lee J seems to be, I think he seems to be okay.
Yeah. Any hand would. It's kind of like miracles. Like any hand with a sensitive divining top and maybe like a fetch land. You're like, all right, let's go.
He's got a cantrip there too.
Yeah, yeah. Two ways to shuffle his library. The ideas inbound is kind of bad, but you know, you would keep those six cards without the ideas inbound anytime. So
Correct. Yeah, ultimately he's probably looking for a brainstorm to shuffle that ideas unbound back into his deck.
yeah, that could work. Or you could discard it with Lion's Eye Diamond, and then you can still take it with Doomsday from your graveyard. So
Right.
you'll find a way. So while they're still thinking about their hands, what do you think about your last match? You got a little bit unlucky with with your draws, I suppose.
Well, game one, I I thought I had to try to steal game one, maybe with a Chalice of the Void on turn one. Uh, Either that or have an aggressive hand. So that's why I kept my first hand. Uh, for game two, it was basically the same plan, except now I have Ley Lines and Thorns. So either one of those cards on turn one, I would be happy. But that seven, I don't think it was gonna get there. I just thought maybe his deck's a little too quick for a turn two card that doesn't really completely shut down his deck. So that was my reasoning
Yeah,
for that. And
he,
then
and he could also have a thought seize to take it away, and then he would be in trouble.
right, and then you saw me mulligan to Oblivion.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. All right, so Danny kept on six. He has a therapy here. See
Wonderful.
how good he is at Magic.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so he names Doomsday, which is not going to hit.
I think Doomsday or Brainstormer are good choices there. He chose Doomsday.
Yeah, there's actually only three Doomsdays in the main deck, so maybe Brainstorm or Top would have been better, but
Yeah,
sometimes you just got to take a gamble.
correct. That Swords of Plush is looking really awkward in Danny's hand.
Yeah, that's not going to get a lot of value. I assume he does run Brainstorm, so if he draws one of those, he could be right back in it, or Savannah,
Does
basically
Dan,
the same thing.
is Danny playing Dried Arbor?
I have his list right here. No, he's not running it. He also doesn't have Green Sun Zenith. He's not running a lot of creatures at all, actually.
Okay. Oh,
And so
maybe
there's a Dark Ritual.
that's a beginning.
That's the beginning. Then he just needs a Doomsday, and then he could be looking to win. This is he's topping in his upkeep. I expect him to draw the Dark Ritual, and then probably play a fetch land, maybe.
Uh, he might fetch and then ponder.
Yeah, that could. Oh, actually, he's going to go for the top here. Didn't expect that.
Top number two. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably have more experience with this deck than I do, so
Yeah, I've played it a fair amount. I think he's just really afraid of getting his hand shredded by more discard spells. So he's kind of storing some cards on the board with those sensitive divining tops.
right.
But
Okay.
as it turns out, Danny just really has nothing at all. So yeah, we of course have perfect information, but Leader doesn't know what's going to happen. So he's playing it a bit safe here, which is
Correct.
understandable.
Well, he probably feels like game one is in his favor because Danny probably doesn't have a
Yeah,
lot of things that interact with his deck, so he's probably take it easy and when he goes off,
yeah.
he'll go off for sure.
Don't take any risks. That's quite right. Yeah, Danny has six discard spells and a Glen Elender Archmage, actually, which, if that actually gets into play, it could be really good.
Oh yeah.
All right, so now if he can, oh, he's actually just going to cast Ideas Unbound, just as kind of a big, careful study.
Oh,
And draws, oh, there's a Doomsday, I think, on the far right.
so I guess it's kind of some lands, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then next turn, that's going to be a pretty easy kill with a Duress backup as well.
So I guess we'll see.
And we'll see Garrick make a wolf and then flashback that Cabal Therapy.
Now,
Let's
what do
see.
you think he names?
Yeah, do you just name Doomsday again? I mean,
I think you do.
yeah, that doesn't sound unreasonable.
I mean,
It's
because
either that or like Lion's Eye Diamond, I think.
the only two cards that he knows about, there's two in his hand: are Ponder and Duress, right?
Yeah, yeah, he could take the Ponder and hope that Legia just doesn't have anything else going on.
Or he can
Or
just
oh, he
not do
actually
anything.
doesn't. Well, that's a sure way to die. I don't think Legia is gonna miss this kill. He has a
Well,
lot of. Oh, there's even a second Dark Ritual.
I'm not very good with Doomsday, and I probably could get a win here.
Yeah, you certainly could.
All right, so he's just gonna double Dark Ritual.
Yeah. Oh no, he's gonna show us that he didn't need that Dark Ritual, the second one.
Okay.
He had to kill without it. Yeah, so there's no tendrils in the main deck, so he has to go for a Burning Wish here, and then he needs enough mana to cast Burning Wish, wish for tendrils, and then cast tendrils. So usually there's at least 2 Lion's Eye Diamonds to get to that 6 mana for Wish plus tendrils, and then just a way to draw those cards, which in this version is
Oh, he's got
Ideas
a Ponder
Unbound.
too.
Yeah, yeah. So he's really it's really smooth sailing here. So he's just gonna discard his Dark Ritual to show Danny that he still had all these, and then and he's gonna probably win the game here.
This is sweet.
Yeah, it's well executed. I've personally not played this version a lot. I was playing the one with main deck tendrils and meditate, which plays slightly different,
Okay.
but the basic principle is the same. And there we have it. That appears to be 22
GG's.
damage. Yeah, GG's. Well, no big surprise there. Legia takes down game one. Danny, yeah, doesn't have a lot of main deck answers, and he even had a bad hand as well. So
Correct. He had a Source of Power stuck in his hand.
yeah, now we get
So,
to the sideboard
well, now it gets a lot more interesting.
for sure. Yeah,
To see how Lee J is gonna fight the hate.
yeah.
So we see Danny taking all the Source of Blushes immediately.
Yeah,
He brought his negates. I think that's what I saw.
yeah. It is Force of Wills, and also some invasive surgeries as well, and some surgical extractions.
Those are all very good cards. Oh, he's also got Innocent Blood that don't do anything here.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. Also, Pernicious Deed is not great. He would love to take those out, but he doesn't have that many cards to bring in.
right. He took the Pernicious Deed.
Oh, okay. He does.
I don't know if
That's
does he expect Lee J to make goblins? Is he scared of that?
yeah, it could be. I mean, with Burning Wish, it's like guaranteed that there's an empty orange in the sideboard.
Okay.
And yeah, British Deed is one of his only ways to deal with that, as far as I can see. So yeah, maybe he wants to keep some of those in. I wouldn't hate taking out Veteran Explorers because it's really awkward to give your opponent mana in this matchup because the Doomsday deck can use it really well.
That is true. That is true. I don't know if I would have kept with Karn in there. I think Karn is probably
Yeah,
one of the weaker Planeswalker there.
I mean it's a 7 mana Ravenscrime. You just discard 1 card. It's sometimes all you got.
Wow, that
So
Okay.
Legia didn't get to board much because he's playing a Wish deck, so he only has a few sideboard cards that he can actually bring in. But he did bring in the Emrakul Sheldog Isle package, which is an alternative way to handle your Doomsdays. Instead of going for tendrils, you hide Emrakul under Sheldog Isle and
and then like
play
in the
a
turn.
50-50. Yeah.
Okay. Looks like Dennis got another hand that he can't keep.
All right, so let's see how aggressive Lee J is feeling here, because he can actually go turn 1 Dark Ritual Doomsday and try to go for that Sheldog Isle play.
I think if he can, he should do it.
Yeah, that would be entertaining.
So, what's the best option? I mean, what's the best top deck for Lee J here? Is it another LED? Or
if he wants to win the game right now, he needs to draw a Gitaxian Probe, I believe.
okay,
Because he
so
needs to draw.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Looks like he did. Yeah, well, he needs a way to draw a card after the Doomsday, and he will not have any mana remaining, so it would have to be a Gitaxian Probe.
Well, it looks like he's going for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure what pile is coming out of here, but he's going for it.
Yeah, it's going to be Sheldog Isle with Emrakul. So Sheldog Isle is actually a land that you hide away a card under it. So you hide Emrakul under it. And then if a player has 20 or fewer cards in his library, you can cast a card under it. Yeah, and of course his library is now going down to 5 cards. So that condition is already met. So I think we'll see him going that route. Because he knows that Danny doesn't have any wastelands, because that's something this strategy is really weak to. If you just get your Sheldog Isle wastelanded, then you just build yourself for free. Yeah, or Caracas. So, but he knows that there's not a lot that Danny can do.
Okay, and I guess you just activate. Well, I guess in this case.
Yeah, the other cards don't really matter. It looks like he's going to go for a Doomsday in case he needs to prevent himself from decking. So he can go for another 5-card library.
Gotcha. Okay, so I guess the order would be Sheldog on top, right?
Yeah, that's correct. He's going to draw that next turn.
And you can put Emrakul on the bottom, I guess. And then the middle, I mean, I guess doesn't matter, whatever you put in the middle.
No, it doesn't matter because you get to look at the top 4 cards with Sheldog Isle, so you will see everything. And then you can reorder them if you want to. And also you actually cast the card with Sheldog Isle, so you will get the extra turn from Emrakul.
Right, correct.
So even if Danny had an Innocent Blood, he would...
he can just activate Sheldog Isle with Wise Eye Diamond.
Yes, but it does come into play tapped, so... He
so
cannot do it
turns.
next turn. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It's a really slow plan. It's specifically meant for control decks that have a hard time dealing with it. This plan has also been used in normal Storm decks. You know, the Ad Nauseam Tendrils decks sometimes had a sideboard package of 4 Doomsday, Emrakul, and the Sheldog Isle, specifically to fight miracles, because it's really difficult to deal for decks like that before they had Terminus anyway.
Yeah, I've also seen like Team Fins too. Sometimes Team Fins they before Mentor got printed, they used to have this package on the sideboard too.
Yeah.
Because you already had Miracles in the deck, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it looks like.
All right, so that's the pile.
And so I guess. So Danny's just gonna play a land and probably Cabal Therapy.
Yeah, and it will make sense to name like a mana card here. So we could see Lion's Eye or Dark Ritual being named.
Yeah, Burning Wish. That's a hit.
Burning Wish. Well, that's a hit. That also makes sense, I suppose.
So,
but
I guess Lee J has no access to his his sideboard
anymore. No, he doesn't have any red mana.
And he doesn't have like another Burning Wish.
No, so he's all in on this Emrakul plan. If this doesn't work out, then he'll lose the game.
Loses the game.
Yeah.
The perks of playing Doomsday.
Yeah, it's a pretty all-in strategy. So
I remember as a kid, like
Danny has.
Yeah, go ahead.
Danny has one Vindicate, so actually if he draws Vindicate right here, he could blow up the Shallow Isle, but he does not.
So it looks like he's just gonna lose all his permanents next turn.
Yeah, because he's not going to get another turn before Emrakul attacks now. So there we see the Shallow Isle. Surprise!
Guess what's under this Sheldock? Oh, it's Emrakul.
How fortunate.
Wow.
And that's the game. And the match.
That's a good
All
one.
right.
So it's exciting to see Doomsday.
Yeah. It was kind of as expected. It was a really tough matchup for Danny, and he didn't get any really good hands from his side.
Right.
He did his out quite well, actually.
I don't know. I think maybe Danny should have mulliganed at least one time in that game 2. Because his hand had, like, I don't know, he only had Cabal Therapy. I think if you go to 6 and you have a Forcible in your hand, that hand gets a whole lot better. But it's a rough matchup, whichever way you look at it for him. This deck is really slow. All right.
Yeah, he has to hope to get lucky in any case. I probably would have mulliganed as well, but yeah, it would not have been in his favor regardless.